Welcome to the Munchkin Minute, your bi-weekly look into some tabletop gaming news and more. I'm your host, Dan, the Board Game Man, and this is your news for November 17th, 2025. So I wanted to thank everyone first who donated and bought raffle tickets and just really paid attention to this year's 2025 12th Annual Gamers for Cures Charity Board Game Marathon to benefit Turner Syndrome Society of the Carolinas. It was a great success. We raised over $18,000 for our cause, bringing us over $190,000 for the 12 years that we've been doing this. It's an amazing event. I can't thank all the publishers, the sponsors, and all of you who donated. It's really humbling to see the support we get each year. Next year, we're going to be back around the same time of the year for our 13th annual event, and I can't wait to see what we can come up with then. After a little bit of rest, I'll get to more of the planning, but right now, after 6 months of planning and stressing for the event and putting it on, I'll get a little bit of rest now. First up, in some news, we got a pair of pairs, if you will, this week. So we've got two companies I'm going to talk about two games for. First up, we're going to talk about Arcane Wonders. So they've released Leylines. This is by a pair of great, you see I'm sticking with the pairs thing here, great designers in Daryl Andrews and Wolfgang Kramer. This is updating of Kramer's late 80s game called Auf Achse. This is going to be out, as of this recording, should be out right now, and should be about $50. This is set kind of in a fantasy universe in a light to medium weight pick up and deliver game. Now, each round, players are going to be taking turns waking up and preparing for the day by placing your dice on to program their actions, and then adventuring through the forest using the placed dice. They're going to pick up resources along the way and deliver them to the markets for either gold or magical items to help them in their journey. This one looks good. I do love Daryl Andrews, and he's probably kind of updated and kind of streamlined this a bit. 2 to 6 players, plays in about an hour, and look forward to checking this one out. Next up, the second one, I did see this one at Gen Con, and this is another re-release of the same game. This was out a few years ago, Arcane Wonders. They're putting out the new edition of Buffet Boss. This is a nifty dexterity game for about $30, which is a really good price. I had one of these on the play-to-win table at Gamers for Cures, and people were having an absolute blast playing it during the event. Buffet Boss delivers a delicious mix of light strategy and dexterity in this stacking game for the whole family. In Buffet Boss, pick your food from the buffet and gain points by stacking the food onto your plate. But beware, the food with the tastiest point values are also the hardest to stack. Players will also have character cards that give them bonus points for stacking specific types of food. This one was really cool to see, like I said, and I'm not sure if it's out wide now or if that's coming early next year, but this is a really great light family game. If you see it, it'll be a great stocking stuffer for the holidays, but it all depends on when exactly. I'm just not exactly sure when it should be out, but you may be able to find it now as well. Now, I mentioned that a while ago, I mentioned that Upper Deck are putting out DC Legendary, kind of the same thing as that Marvel Legendary. So they're putting out a DC version, and they're slowly leaking out some more info. So DC Legendary will reportedly be out in Q2 of next year from Upper Deck Entertainment, and it looks like it'll be $99. Now, I'll put a link to their teaser page. Now, I say this all the time. I love Legendary as a system. I love Marvel Legendary. I kind of like the Legendary system more than the Legendary Encounters, but I love the Legendary system, and I am a DC zombie. I love everything DC Comics, so I'm probably going to love this one, but $99 for the base set seems a bit overpriced, in my opinion, at that initial glance. I'd rather see a nice $60 box and do their usual release a bunch of expansions every couple of months, but I'll likely try it and see how it is. I'll play it at Origins or Gen Con, but I'll probably be waiting till that price comes down or I see it on some sort of sale. But I'm just still really intrigued and can't wait to check this one out. I'll love to play this one with friends or solo as well. Synapse Games has announced Frosted Blooms. This is by Bruno, Cathala, and Ludovic Maublanc. This is kind of a lighter drafting tile placement game. This one should be out in March of next year. Should be about $35. See, there's a great price for you. It looks really good. So you're basically drafting a tile from the market, putting it into your little tableau, and then you're placing other kind of bits between each one of those, in your little display for the different types of scoring. It looks really cute. It's lighter to medium weight, but it seems like it's still a good entry-level family weight game. 1 to 4 players. And this is like a super filler. So you're looking at kind of 30 to 60 minutes or the 1 hour wonder, as I like to say. Tycoon Games. I've got my pair of Tycoon Games coming up. So first up, Tycoon Games, in no surprise, is expanding that Everdell Everdell system or series of games. Now they're putting out an Everdell Silverfrost series. This is the latest take on that ever popular, see what I did there? Ever popular game series. Collector's edition is going to be about $100, and there's various upgrades or kind of part of this series that you can grab as well at the same time. Now I love Everdell, such a good series, so kind of more of it is a good thing. So if this is your first entry into it, you might want to get into it. I think the regular edition is a little bit cheaper. I think it's only like $50 or $60, but they've got the collector's edition, which has a lot of great goodies. So a lot of people that love that series will probably grab this one right away. Now, also up, Tycoon Games recently, they acquired the Tiny Epic Games line from Gamelin Games. I think they acquired everything from Gamelin. Now, their next thing that I wanted to talk about was Tiny Epic Invincible. This is coming to Kickstarter soon. I've always kind of liked the Tiny Epic line, and some of them I really love. This one could be the next one that I'll probably grab based on that IP alone, because I love everything Invincible. And Scott Alms, he kind of knows how to keep the mechanics relatively fresh. And many of them, like I said, I still own to this day. There's a handful of them I really, really like, and I've gotten rid of a couple of them, but the series is good. He's a really great designer who just loves to change things up, so I really hope this Invincible one is really, really good. And of course, once that comes out, I may have a link to that one. We'll see what happens when, how soon that one comes out as well. And hybrid board and digital companion release news. Pegasus Spiel is going to be releasing a game called Boss Fighter QR. This should be out as of this recording, and it should be about $50. Now, this has you fighting bosses in a campaign game, playing cards, while the app responds to your plays in real time. Now, it looks decent, and that's not a bad price for what you're getting here. But this type of marrying of apps and games, it's really hard to get right. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe a try before you buy. It'll be interesting to see how it plays. It's got me with that theme, and I'm hooked with that theme and a fantasy fighting type, but I'm just really hope that app stuff works out as intended and works and keeps it really fun, which when you use things like this with an app, it could bring in that whole kind of lighter type gamers and even more of the mass market gamers. So we'll see how this one goes and see how it looks, when it does come out. And finally, in regular release news, Fantasy Flight will release. What would be a show without a Marvel Champions release announcement? But they're going to be releasing Hercules, the hero pack for Marvel Champions. That should be out in February, and as usual, $19. I think that is their going price right now. So he brings an interesting labor deck and reward deck to the system. It seems to make some of the tasks and fights a little bit more challenging while giving him a reward once those tasks or the labor is completed. It also comes with a modular set for all versus all modes. So it looks decent. And of course, a lot of people, he is hugely popular, that, Hercules character. So we'll see how that one comes out. Let's head on over to crowdfunding. I want to start with Kickstarter. This is Mystic Lands. This is the card crafting evolved from AEG. This is from John D. Clare in AEG. I love Mystic Vale. I can't say it enough. I love Mystic Vale. I love card crafting, and I love John D. Clare. The guy's awesome. He's been on a Geek All Stars a ton. This one is well funded. Got about a week to go as of this recording. And the price, again, this is another one where it might be a bit overpriced for people. I actually backed this one. This is the Oren Moore edition, which is kind of like a special edition. It's really the only edition they've got on there for $99. But this is kind of takes... Mystic Vale is a really cool game, but it is a little more abstracty with the card crafting. You have basically 12 or 14, I think it's 12 cards, and you're just basically using that as your deck. And on your turn, you're flipping over cards, and then you're going to see, you're stopping when you get to a certain point, and then if you can kind of push your luck, and if you spoil, you get nothing. Now, what this game does, Mystic Lands, kind of brings it into more of a gamey game with that same gameplay, more of kind of you're going around the countryside and doing other things. And also, since you're bringing up 3 different currencies that you can get on your turn, if you do bust, now you get to select one of them that you will keep. So that makes it a little bit better. Busting kind of felt really bad in kind of very randomy in the other game, but this one kind of makes it so it might not be as bad, since you are picking something to keep rather than losing everything. But he's really good at this card crafting. It looks amazing, and kind of the way they've done the cards is just a little cool little invention of that whole thing. Next up, a kind of cheeky little adventure game called Lords of Loot. This is a co-op fantasy game. This is put out by PKB Games. And this one, so initially, and I covered this on the Geek All-Stars in the last episode, looking at the rewards kind of page, it looked really weird. So you can get the basic pledge for 46, and they've got a whole bunch of different extras. I don't really like a lot of these, too many extras. It makes you feel like you're missing out on some stuff. But I keep looking at it, and it doesn't look like it's so bad because the base game being 46 and a couple of the extras, but you can get the all-in for 61. Looks like it's got deluxe 81. So you're basically going to get, doesn't look too bad as far, since you're just, if you want to add 46 for all these different things, or you can just get all of those together at what looks like the all-in deluxe package for 81. That's not too bad. I guess it doesn't look too bad, but the game does look like a lot of fun. Very, very light playing, 1 to 5 players in 6 to 9 minutes. Seems like a really cool kind of collect loot, chuck some dice, and play cooperatively, just trying to, and then kill the boss at the end. So it looks like a ton of fun. This one only has a few days. Most of these only have a few days to go, so you may want to get in on this one quick. 195,000 as of this recording, so well funded, and I think it probably has some stretch goals. So check that one out. Next up is a new take on the Tranquility system. Very, very popular card game. This one, Tranquility Descent, another one that's only got a few days to go. It is funded. This is Wayfarer Games. It only is. Looks like it's only about $23. Is the game only, and then you can get a Descent plus playmat combo, so you can get for $45. I mean, it's just another playmat that kind of keeps everything. I love all these kind of really cool neoprene playmats, so I might want to get in on this one. But the game looks very good. If you know Tranquility, it is a very popular card system, and it is a ton of fun. So I recommend that one. Again, it's another one that's really good for introducing kind of newer gamers. Even though it has a little complexity to it, it's not that much. It just kind of looks a little bit more complex than it really is. But that one is Tranquility, The Descent. Next up, another one with some really cool, different art style. Dicey Devices, Mad Ambition. Only a few days to go. This is from Origami Whale Games. You can get in this one for the base game for about $59. This is an interesting one because it reminds me a bit of, I love the kind of the Kingsburg system of rolling dice, and then you decide where you want to put your dice on your board. So this one, you're kind of rolling dice, you're kind of upgrading your board as you play. So as you're rolling dice, you're deciding what to trigger on your board. And then I think like the whole kind of theme is everyone's kind of super villains kind of plotting against each other. Mad scientists plotting against the one. You're using your laboratory robots and trusty assistant Igor to annihilate your pesky peers. So it looks really good. It is well funded. And it just looks like a lot of fun. So 1 to 4 players, plays in about an hour and a half. And it doesn't look like it's too complex either, but it does have some really good table presence. So Dicey Devices, check that one out. And finally, from Kickstarter, A Year of Relics of Raja Vahara, easy for me to say. This is kind of a reprint and expansion. This is a really cool solo system. I'm not sure if I've seen this one before. Maybe I've covered it, but it doesn't look like something I remember too much. This one's kind of like a solo puzzler. But what's really cool right now is that they've got everything already produced, so there's no waiting. Once you do back this one, they do say it should be out and delivered by January of next year. They're also doing what's a new quest every week in the system, so they'll be putting things out for you to do. So, kind of solo puzzlers like this, you want new challenges once you get through everything, and the price will stay the same. There won't be any later charges because everything is already produced. So again, this one is about $50 US to get the deluxe base game. You can get all in kind of the brick and mortar. They've got a brick and a game store version that you can buy, but they've got the kind of all in there. They've got the expansion only for about $25, and you can get the deluxe base game for $50. So I like this one quite a bit. I do love these solo challenges type of things, but check this one out if you do like solo challenges. About a week and a half to go, and it is funded. And like I said, you will get this one pretty quick once you back. Let's head on over to GameFound. A couple of bigger ones here. So first up, Song of Silveranth by Red Raven Games. Everybody knows I love Red Raven Games. Everything they put out. Sleeping Gods was my game of the year, personal game of the year that year it came out, and this is kind of the next iteration. It's not really the same game, or kind of, I don't want to say it's same universe, but it's basically has almost nothing to do except for you'll know what the system is like. So this one has a few days left, but of course there'll be plenty of late pledges. But I absolutely love this game system, like Sleeping Gods, and it kind of refined the dungeon delving, made it a little bit better. The combat system is going to be a little bit more refined. So if you like Sleeping Gods, you'll probably like this one even better. I haven't got a chance to play it, but I did see it a bunch and talk to Ryan a lot. Ryan Lockett, the designer and artist and publisher. I talked to him a lot at Gen Con. Really solid guy. This one will be really, really fun. You can get in for this kind of the bigger pledge, which has a little bit of everything for $230, but that's a good price for all that stuff. I've got the deluxe edition of Sleeping Gods, and I don't regret it one bit because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of expansion, and a lot of content. So if you like those sort of games, this is a really good one to get in on. Next up, Movers and Shakers by Quinted Games. This is kind of more of a dry solace Euro for those of us out there that love kind of a pick up and deliver, kind of almost like a train game, but does have that weight to it. About a week to go on this one. I really think this one is cool. You kind of want to check this one out, on there. This is from the design team from Nippon, Panamax, Madeira, Asian Tiger. So you'll know there that it is kind of the heavier weight Euro. But man, I kind of just eat these type up. So Movers and Shakers, check that one out as well. Next up, this is an interesting one by Guillaume. This is The Mix. So this is kind of a game, kind of a Euro game all about kind of mixology and kind of, bartending and such. It's a beautifully designed cocktail Euro game. Perfect blend of strategy and spirits. I like the way it looks here. Definitely check this one out. You can get in this one for about $120, or you can get the regular game. Looks like that's the premium edition. You can get the retail edition for about $90. I guess that's, I don't know if that's euros or what that is, but it looks like you can get in it for $90. And this one should be out by next summer, and it is funded. It's got about a week and a half ago, but I kind of like these little projects that are a little different. And of course, I love the theme, kind of the mixology theme is really cool. I've got two more that should be out as soon as you hear this, and will be live. I'm not sure if I mentioned this one. I did mention them both on the Geek All-Stars, but these are two games I absolutely love that I can't recommend enough. So first up, this is kind of the next edition for Rove. You can get the reprint of Rove here, or they've got Rove Anchor Point, which is kind of like what I like to say is it's kind of what they say. It's like the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, so kind of an intro version of Rove. Now, Rove is from the designers who did kind of the fan expansion Crimson Scales for Gloomhaven. So it's not exactly the same as Gloomhaven, but if you like and know Gloomhaven and Frosthaven, you will like this. It's a little bit lighter and easier to get into, I think, than the Gloomhaven series because I played a bunch of Rove and it is awesome. So if you like that sort of thing and you like campaigning games, you'll love this one. The way you kind of advance, the way you play the game, got some dice to it, got some card play. It is awesome. I really like it quite a bit. So Rove Anchor Point will be a good entryway if you just want to see how it is. And then they'll have the reprint of Rove. This is by Adex Games. That'll be out. As of this recording, you should be able to, or as of you listening to this, you should be able to go check this out. But I'll have a link to it in the show notes as well. And finally, Iridia, The Paths We Dare Tread. This is probably, if not, I have to see what all the games came out this year, but this is my game of the year, quite possibly right now. Again, since I just mentioned how much I love the Gloomhaven style games, this is that type of game. The system is great. The narrative, the story, it's not overly bogged down by combat, but there's plenty of combat in there. But just kind of as you're making your character, there's a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different ways you can go down to customize your character. It is simply amazing. I love Iridia, and I think you will too if you do love those kind of those expanding kind of campaign, those Frosthaven types. It should also be out. As of listening to this, you should be able to go and check it out and back it. I absolutely love it. Can't recommend it enough. I think you'll dig this one as well. Thanks for joining me today. If you see any news you think I'd like to feature, shoot me a message at GeekJockDan on Twitter, or basically just check me out on the Discord, the Major Spoilers Discord, or check me out as the Geek All-Stars on Instagram. And also, please check out MajorSpoilers.com for great content by Steven and the rest of the Major Spoilers crew. And check out my show, the Geek All-Stars Podcast. We only got a few more left to go this year. It's coming up quick, the end of the year. It's amazing how fast this year has gone. But anyway, as always, I am Dan, the Board Game Man, and I'll see everyone in a couple of weeks for another Munchkin Minute.
This podcast is copyright 2025 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.